sport mode is a beast. Holy. What's up, guys? Two Wheel Ton here. Bison Thunder motorcycle. Riding some Indians, man. Once again, I loved it. I love these Indians. I've been having a great day. We're riding this Indian Scout Bobber right now, which is pretty cool. I think it looks great. Cool seat. Cool little luggage rack on the back there. The color is nice. It's low to the ground, man. I think it's pretty sweet. I like the single bag. Actually, on my Scrambler, I pretty much ride that way with just the one bag all the time. So, key down on the side, which is pretty sweet. Better get fired up here. Let's see if there's a ride mode. No ride mode. I don't think there's any ride modes on this. If there is, later on, I'll be upset, but that's okay. We're in neutral, so I'm ready to rock. I already like how this feels. Low to the ground. This is the first bike all day I can touch perfectly fine on. I could use some different pipes on it, I'll tell you that much. Okay. I'd like a better sounding machine, but that's okay. So, forward controls on this thing. That'll be interesting. The seat already, I can tell, is not... I mean, we're talking about a bobber, quote unquote, what they call. I mean, they're throwing that name out there a lot these days for a lot of different things. And I mean, look at these mirrors, bar end mirrors down below. You got to look real far down. I don't know how much I like that, but I mean, they look cool. But you know, basically with a bobber, you're not really looking to go for long distances. You're going to, you know, bar hop or cruise around town. I got to be way more aware of who's behind me now because I can't look at those mirrors very easily. Hope nobody's trying to creep up on the side of me. So yeah, the seat, whatever it is super hard, and there's a little bump at the back probably to help keep you on it, but not a comfortable long cruiser type thing. There's my father-in-law on the other one right there by me, so he's been riding a lot of stuff with us. It's nice to have one right next to you. Yeah! So then you can see what it looks like going down the road. Okay. Well, it's got plenty of power. This is a great comparison to the. Oh, he's stopping for this. Okay. Nice. Great comparison to the Triumph Bobber. Nice power. Yeah, man. I was power shifting, no clutch that whole time, and it took it great. These gearboxes feel fantastic for what they are. That freaking intake howling sounds awesome. Yeah, Craig's laying in on it. That's nice. This was great. We always should have hit a stoplight on all these rides. Yeah. See, these Scouts, that motor is still great. What a fantastic engine. The Scout and the FTR. If you're looking for an extreme sports machine with the Indian badge on it, either one of these are fantastic. Going around town, man, this bobber would be a lot of fun. I can tell you, stock, the Triumph bobber, I remember having a much nicer exhaust note. That thing sounded great, just totally stock, and was more comfortable than this seat. I can say that for sure, 100%. Does this come with, are these forward controls stock? So, oh, and this does say it's straight slip-ons. It doesn't sound like it. Performance intake, so maybe that's part of that sound. Wow. You can tell it's a short bike, tips in nice, feels a little less confident around corners, but decent. This ride is great, man. Yeah, this is what I'm used to here. Ride hard, this is fun. So, Scout Pathfinder LED headlight, okay, who cares? Luggage rack, saddlebag, shocks, performance shocks. I wonder if there's some adjustability there. Could be. Obviously I can't adjust them, but there we go. 100 horsepower, 72 foot-pounds of torque. Decent. Throttle's up nice. I mean, the torque level feels great. Whatever they're doing with these newer models, I mean, it's very, very apparent in the 111. But even in this thing, their tuning is out of control. They are tuning them excellently. Standard ABS, all that stuff. No big deal. Ooh, skipped. Didn't want to go to second right away. That's interesting. So when I'm just driving calmly, the gearbox definitely feels different than the FTR and obviously the 111s. The gearbox feels a little different. It doesn't feel quite as refined, but it still doesn't feel terrible. This forward kind of leaning position is real nice, and you don't feel the wind as much. Putzing along feels just fine. Feels like plenty of torque. You know, to even roll out of the corner like that feels great. You can probably even tell in my voice. Shocks are stiffer. Seat is stiffer. I mean, certainly for romping around town and just being a hooligan on the thing, it'd be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Not bad riding one-handed. See, and that's just rolling throttle on. It gets up and goes for sure, and with that intake, it sounds just nasty. But I wish I had more of an exhaust note. I wish the pipes were louder. But all that stuff, you know, in the aftermarket world for sure, can be rectified. You can certainly get something that sounds a lot louder, I'm sure. Styling is decent. I like what they've done with the bobber bike. The style looks a lot better than the standard Scout. When I rode these 2 years ago, the regular Scout was like this. It felt great. The motor felt fun, especially compared to the 111 at that time. But it didn't look real great. You know, like the style of it was not that great. Or this looks better. You know, it really does. It looks kind of cool. I wouldn't mind having it in my garage, kind of thing. You know, forward controls are surprisingly pretty comfortable. Normally in this type of position, I would rather a mid, but I think if you had mid controls, your knees would be really high, even mine, and I'm pretty short. I feel like this is a very compact seating position, and I'm only 5'6", so I'm like 29, 30-inch inseam. So keep that in mind. If you're a tall rider, definitely don't go for the bobber. That's the weird part about the market today is they've got a bike for like every niche, and I don't know if that's necessary. You know, it's like the guy who buys this bobber, what is he really going to do with it? You know, it's a guy who wants to romp around town and have plenty of power. Wow. God, that thing like screams when it gets up there. Wow. But I can't even imagine like doing you know, just like a weekend ride with buddies and being out for a few hours, or you know, even a couple hours, and randomly doing whatever with this seating position. I can't even. The seat's too hard. For me, the position is putting a lot more of the vibration and bumps into my lower back, which I can tell already I would feel that in a while. God, why wasn't all of our rides like this? This is a lot more room in between us, and we can ramp it up. Nice. There's that guy up there that was following me when I was riding that bike with the apes. It's getting kind of wild. I'm curious to see what he thinks about that in comparison to his Harley. He's got a older Harley he rode up here. It's funny because those FTRs are monsters. And I got a couple of them behind me, I think, but those guys are kind of laying back. Wow! Keep the Mars up there. This is a fun machine. Wow! Great throttle response. I love that basically everything's a cable operated clutch as well, and the clutches feel nice and light, less things to maintain. It just, you're low to the ground and you feel like you're I don't know, like you're on a little rocket ship, you know. It's loud, it's low, it's responsive. It's a fun machine, man. It's fun to drive fast. But that's the other part of it. I guess, you know, we're not really going that fast. We're doing like 70, I guess, when I look down there. That's the sweet spot that you need to find. Is a bike that when you're not doing like over 100 feels visceral and exciting and fast, even though you're not going at crazy speed. And that is this, 100%. Totally. The only problem with this thing is it feels like my ass already hurts. Like my ass is already developing a numbness from this goofy seat. I like the simple layout here, one gauge, got everything you need to know. I really like how these new headlights look too, with the little shroud like that. The design that Indian's been coming up with, I think, is excellent. Really excellent. They're well thought out. Things are looking cool, but yet still looking unique. That's really important, is to have some kind of uniqueness. I really hope Indian just keeps going strong. If I was in the market for any kind of bagger cruiser, I am hands down looking to Indian first. Hands down. No problem. I mean, say what you will about Harley, this is another American manufacturer. There's nothing wrong here. You know, I was talking to the owner of the dealership this morning, and it's, you know, it's like somewhere in Wisconsin, the engines are being built, and I think Spear Lake, Iowa, the bikes are being assembled. You know, it's great. It's full Midwest company. It's close to home, you know, for me at least. Maybe some of you watching, not necessarily, but I'm just very, very pro-Indian right now. I think they're great. I like what they're doing. The changes that they're making are really good, style-wise and engine-wise. The tune on this feels great. I've been talking to my father on, and you know, he's got differing opinions on some of it, which is pretty interesting. But to each their own. You know, I do a lot of these demo rides and ride a lot of different bikes, and I would be happy owning one of these any day of the week. That is so loud. So I have that throttle body, that intake is so loud. I have a helmet on plus earplugs inside there, and when that starts sucking air like that, it's loud even for me. Whoop, that's crazy. I hope that's coming through on the mic because it's very loud. It becomes, that's all you can hear. It's louder than the wind noise and the exhaust when that intake is howling. Steering is a little twitchy, if I'm honest. It doesn't quite feel quite as confident as the FTR, that's for sure. If you're choosing between like a Scout Bobber or an FTR, just on this little ride, I would say look towards FTR immediately. Immediately go that direction. So what am I? Everything's got a 6-speed gearbox. I really like that. So I'm assuming here, I mean, if you really were doing this, cruising, you'd probably get pretty killer mileage on this thing. But I'm not even joking with you. I already feel it in my ass. My ass is hurting a little bit and feels a little bit numb. And this, I've not been out for very long. So that's a problem. This seat is a major problem. Whoever designed that it's garbage. Yeah, this gearbox is definitely less refined than the FTR one. Not as flickable to turn and maneuver around. Less confident cornering. The rake might be a little bit more of a rake on this thing than the FTR possibly, or I don't know, something strange about it, but it definitely does not feel as confident in corners as the FTR. I would be so bold to say that I'm not even sure it feels as confident as like the Springfield. I gotta be honest, I think even after today, I think one of those Springfields has to make its way into my garage at one point. It's got to. It's so comfortable. It's so fun, especially with the throttle body and, you know, sport mode and everything on it. It is really a beautiful machine. It's so great. I love how it looks. I love how it handles. I like how it sounds with the right pipes and setup there. For a cruiser, I don't think there's a better one out there. For my money, I don't think there is. I'm going to be honest. So check out my Springfield video. We'll try to link it at the end of this one. So you can scope that out. I will say this thing does a great job of looking the part. I mean, even if you look there, the one Craig's on, it looks cool. Got that short rear fender, his little tail lights. You know, it looks beefy, wide at the back a little bit, short. It's got to be a pretty short wheelbase on this thing. So now we're really leisurely cruising. And I can tell you, if you want to leisurely cruise, this is not the bike to get. This is not the one to get. Even the FTR is more comfortable for cruising than this thing. There you go, guys. Another ride and review on the Indian Scout Bobber. It's pretty good, but the seat needs some work. Thanks for riding with me. Check me out on Instagram. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell all your buddies, and we'll catch you on the next ride, man. See ya.